Hi there, it's Meonicorn. Today is another book review for the Women's Prize for Fiction shortlist. And today I'm going to review The Idiot by Alf Butman. For the information I got, this book is either a hit or miss for the majority of its readers. And unfortunately, I was on the side of not enjoying it. And I know some of my booktube friends really loved it, so Claire, if you are watching, I'm so sorry. This is a book about a girl's freshman year in Harvard. You got her whole school year and the summer vacation after that. And what surprises, that's it. That's like all about it. You got all the things on her freshman year, her classes, her classmates, her roommates, her crush, her thoughts on the truth of the world. So basically all the things she done because of her college. That sounds like a lot, but I want you to think about it. It's actually nothing happened. Everybody's freshman year looks like that. Sure, everybody's freshman year have highlights. We have plot in our life. What's a plot? It's a major event in our lives. It should be differentiated from other routinely events in a day. Even with daily routine contents, a plot is very important. For example, I want to do a daily routine video, so I may including something like what time did I get up, what I had for breakfast, and maybe I read an hour after that. But if I include too much details, like after I got out of bed, the first feet I use is my left feet, then my right arms come forward, and then my right feet comes forward, and then my left arms come forward, and repeat and repeat and repeat for an hour, I think you will agree that it was a very boring daily routine video. So you get the idea what I'm going to say next. In this book, there's no differentiation between the major events and the not so important one. The narrator will tell you a bunch of unrelated and unnecessary details in her daily life. For example, when our narrator reads a book, instead of summarize her idea of the book, she will summarize the book for you first. And then you can tell she tried to develop some deep and meaningful conversations around the book, but she always stopped on the surface level. On page 11, she was interviewed by a professor, and the professor asked her, "Do you think that you could spend 2 hours reading the same passage, the same sentence, even the same word? Do you think you might find it tedious or boring?" And our protagonist said no, and the professor nodded. So as readers, please take it as a sign. If you enjoy reading the same passage for 2 hours, then this book is definitely a book for you. But it's not a book for me. As I said all of those, this book did have some part that I enjoyed it. Otherwise, I'll just DNF it. But the part I enjoy is actually in the middle of the book, so I waited for a long time. When the character of the narrator's crush come into the stage, things get picked up a little bit, and they exchange emails. And by the way, the emails is something the narrator drew a big picture in the beginning of the book. Made you think that maybe email will be a clue of the book, and then this clue was forgotten by the author for a quarter of the book. But yeah, like I said, when the crash comes into the stage, I did start to enjoy the book, but it's only to an extent to the break-even point of I want to read it more and more, and also I don't want to read it anymore. So my interest was exactly on the break-even point. And sadly, I didn't get moved or touched by her relationship with her crush. Although they have some exchanging of ideas via email, but when you think about it, they just get more and more self-absorbed. I just feel like with the daily event going on, the narrator is too easygoing in her life to a point that her personality is fading. So I guess that the name of the book, The Idiot, is truly the description of her freshman year in college. And in the end of the book, the narrator did find herself learned nothing from the year, and that's why The Idiot comes from. But we cannot ignore that The Idiot is also the name of one of Dostoevsky's books. And clearly, the author tried to make a connection with Dostoevsky. His name, along with a lot of other writers, have been brought up a lot in this book. The narrator was studying Russian and linguistics and also philosophy in class, and she liked to talk about the books, the things that she read. But as I mentioned before, she liked to summarize the books she read instead of talking about her ideas. So when she was reading Dracula, the summary was detailed enough to a point that I think it's a spoiler. So once again, any book, even without plot, does not need to have so much details when unnecessary. So to summarize my view of this book, I feel like I'm a total idiot when reading this book. I got so much frustration, and also I just don't get it. But do consider this book has been shortlisted on the Women's Prize for Fiction this year and also got the final list in the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction. So it must have a large enough target audience who can understand and appreciate the book. Just unfortunately, I'm not one of them. And that's all for my review. I feel like I really complain about a book like this, and I will link Claire's review down below. She really loved this book and I love her point of view. And thanks for watching. I hope you find this video helpful. Let me know if you have read the book and do you love it or not. I'm very curious about it. And yeah, more importantly, happy reading. See you next time. Bye!